You guys will not believe the incredible find that I found today while thrifting. So I go out, I'm door dashing in a city that I'm not really used to going to, and I happen to spot a little thrift store in a strip mall just right on the side of the street. And I'm like, I won't record going in. There's probably not going to be much there, but I'll go take a look. And I go around the store and I find nothing in there but maybe just one or two, like, Xbox NBA 2K16 games that actually had like 2K13 from the 360 in there. So it's nothing of value, nothing I want. I'm not a sports game guy. And I look at the case right as I'm about to leave, and they have 3 items I was shocked to see. Some classic PS1 games here that I'm going to show y'all. So we have here Toy Story 2 for the PS1, which is a great game, and Lion King Simba's Mighty Adventure for the PS1. Now both were labeled for $2.50, but I was able to bundle it as a deal for $3. Now there is a third game in these collector's edition series, which is different from the Black Label and the Greatest Hits, that they didn't have it, but it wasn't one I'm too worried about because even individually these collector's edition sell for about 25 to 30 a piece, which is a great deal on them for getting them for 2. Now I'm for sure going to be keeping this one in the collection because this is what I've been eyeing for my list for a while that I haven't been able to find. This one I don't have much attachment to. I might go and play it, see if I like it. If I don't, I'll probably just turn around and flipping it. Now that's not going to be the only great find that we get today. I have a Facebook deal going through with about 30 or so Xbox One games and some Wii and Wii U games for about $100. I'm going to be meeting them here in a couple hours. In the meantime, I'm going to tie you guys over with a video I took the other day of me doing some trade-in at one of my local shops, Total Nostalgia, to get some games for the collection. I've got a couple games here I'm going to be trading in today at one of my favorite places, Total Nostalgia, just out here in Trinity. Great little toy shop and game store. Going to be looking to just get a decent amount of trade credit in to see if there's anything I can find in here to flip. Not really seeing a whole lot of flip, but I am finding some personal finds for the collection, so we might be updating that today. I ended up picking out 2 games today. Their prices are usually comparable to what they sell for online, so not really looking to flip too much on this place, more just looking to utilize that credit. So I ended up picking 1 game from the collection and 1 game to flip. I picked up this Psychonauts VR. I'm a big Psychonauts fan, loved the first game, have not played the second one yet, but this was sealed for $18, which is not a bad price, and it's the first time I've even seen that game sealed or not in public. And then this one's from my childhood, PS2 version of Ed, Edd n Eddy The Misadventures. He ended up doing 30 for both of those, so I should be able to make about 15 or so on the Ed, Edd n Eddy game. That went about for $15. I could typically sell those for about 30 online. Like I said, for the Psychonauts, I'm going to keep that in my collection. Alright y'all, we just got done with that previous deal I mentioned about the 30 Xbox One and Wii U and Wii games, and it was a lot better than I imagined because he threw in a bunch of Xbox 360 games, and there was a lot of Spider-Man titles, which if y'all don't know, Spider-Man titles are really inflated for prices right now. So I'm about to head home and unpack all that and show y'all what we're going to add to the collection and what we're going to flip to put back towards the collection. This segment's going to be a little bit rushed because we got some things we have to go and do real quick, so sorry about the mess. So these are not all the games I have here I'm showing off here, but these are all the ones that are going to be going into trade-in. They're worth about less than $10. It wouldn't make me much of a profit on eBay. However, these were the big ones from the deal that I will be selling separately. Some of these are about like $15 or $20 here, but this is about a $30 game, and then these are going to be about almost $50 a piece, and some of them are even complete, which I scalped the manuals for Spider-Man 3 and Web of Shadows in order to complete it for my collection. And over here will be all the titles that I will be keeping from my collection, including The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which is pretty regularly a $60 game, which I'm super excited about. Why are you being a weirdo? Alright guys, my wife and I are here today. We're just waiting for the guy to come here and we're going to do that pickup real quick. Alright guys, we just got done with the pickup, so I'm going to take you back to the house and we'll separate everything and show you what we got. I just got done going through that incredible haul we got here, and y'all, this is definitely a great one. We got a lot of titles in this bundle that's going to be going to the collection. It was 60 games in total. We probably pulled out about maybe 20 or so games. The rest that we did not pull out is either going to, there are a lot of lower end games which I'll be saving up to go into trade-in in a future video. The rest is going to be sold individually online for the ones that are worth about $20 or so. So I'll kind of show you all the standouts here. I have the footage going right now of all of the games that we got from the entire order. And now I'm going to show you all of the ones that I kept, and then all the ones I'm going to be selling and trading in. So let's go over the highlights of the ones I kept, and then the highlights of the ones that I am not going to be using. As far as the higher value goes, these were the biggest steals for the collection. So we paid about $250 for the whole bundle. So these were the ones that were about at least $20 or so. Aliens vs. Predators is one I've been looking for a long time. I used to have this as only a disc copy, but this one here, these are all nice and complete except for Fear 3. But even with that not being complete, it's still a $25, $30 game. This is the Witcher Enhanced Edition, which comes with the DLC and all that stuff. And this one here is actually going to be a condition upgrade because we had this game originally for the 360, just disc only, no manual. So now we have the case, the manuals, and this is also the version, the Walmart exclusive, that comes with the soundtrack. My buddy loves the soundtrack for this game, so he's going to be excited to see that for sure. As far as the rest of the titles here, the rest of the titles weren't anything that was more than like $10, maybe at most 13. However, the titles that stand out to me here are Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I have the ultimate version of this, but didn't have the original. Iron Man 2 I haven't played since I was a kid. Rogue Warrior, which is a terrible game, but I was so excited to give it a try just because of how cheesy and terrible the writing is. Overlord is one I hadn't heard of before, so I'm eager to give that a try. Remember Me is one I only had a disc copy of for the longest time, so I'm excited to give that a try finally. And then Rise of Nightmares. Now, I don't like Kinect games, and whenever I show you all my list, you'll see that I don't really have any Kinect games on there. They're pretty worthless and dime a dozen, and not anything I'm interested in, but I love horror games, and anytime there's a horror game on any console, they tend to go for a lot more money in the future. The last little piece of this section that I'm really excited about is Mirror's Edge, because I thought I had this game. I only had it digitally. It was a fantastic game, and I loved it when I was a kid. And Saints Row the Third, my wife loved this game, so I'm excited to give that a try with her. Here we have what will be most of the trade-in pile here. There are a couple games we're going to pull out and sell individually that are worth some money. Like, for example, we have here Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, which is complete in box, which sells pretty easily on eBay for about $20 to $30. And then Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which is another great title. Like I said in the last section, it's a condition upgrade. So we're pulling out our old one, which was just game and manual only. That sells normally about $20. Alright, that was some great adds to the collection. We're going to be taking a lot of the cheaper titles that we won't be keeping and be taking it to one of our local game stores, Gamers World, in order to put it for credit to get some more. Alright, we just got to our first store, Gamers Paradise, so we're going to go see what they'll do for trade-in for us. Alright guys, we're back at my place. So we only ended up going to one store for trade-in because it started getting really stormy out. So we decided to take their offer of credit of $140. So that makes back most of what we will be making on the first trade. Now we get some time to actually look into the second trade bundle that I just showed y'all, which I had teased earlier in the video. Because there's a lot of great titles that will sell for way more than what I paid for. Again, I only paid $100 for that whole lot, which is crazy. But with this trade credit, I was able to get a really great title to add to the collection, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so we're going to go over some of the cheaper ones real quick and then spend some time showing off the great titles that made this collection worth it. Most of this I didn't even know was in here. So we got here Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale series. This typically runs for about $13 to $15. I debated on keeping it, but it's not one I'm too keen on playing anytime soon, so I'm just going to hold off on it. Next we have Ark. I am not a fan of this game. This game sells used complete for like $30, which is a great price for it. These two are two iffy titles. So I have here for the Kinect, Ice Age, Continental Drift, and then Happy Feet 2, both for the 360. These ones were kind of iffy. The Ice Age one doesn't sell too often, but when it does, it sells for close to like 20 bucks, which made me just hold on to it just to see how it goes in a couple months when I get more slots on eBay to sell. But this one I saw going pretty regularly for about $12 to $15, so I decided I'll give that one a chance as well. Now this one was in the posting listing, but the rest I did not know were there. This is Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. Now I think this Transformers series was pretty beloved because it typically sells for $30 to $40. I'm not a big Transformers guy, otherwise I would keep it because it seems like a pretty cool game series. However, the rest is the best deal that I had seen in this lot. We have here 4 360 era Spider-Man games. Now the Spider-Man games have died down a little bit in pricing now that we're a little bit of the way from the movie. However, some of these still hold their value. These two here only typically go for about 20 to 30 a piece. However, these were all complete when I got them. So these two, I did not have complete originally, so I ended up doing an upgrade condition for my copies, and these two I already had completed. So these two being 20 to 30 a piece makes about 50. This one has gone down significantly. It's about 30 to 40 bucks now, but this one is almost a $40 to $50 game complete. So I have a couple different options for either selling it individually, or I could lot it up and do a big bundle for all of these games, which a Spider-Man fan who did not have the chance to play these games yet might actually really enjoy it and pick it up. But otherwise, it's a great deal for these. Alright guys, I've done enough teasing. It's time for the meat and potatoes of this video. What all this trade credit ended up going towards. I was not able to film in there again, unfortunately. It ended up being pretty busy. I only got about 1 or 2 clips in there. But they had some underpriced games, which I thought about flipping. But then I saw this one game, and with the trade credit we were offered, I used it entirely towards this game here. What we have here is a complete black label copy of Silent Hill. Now he had this price for about $149, which he had gone down in price a couple times. They weren't really selling too well in this shop, but this is a holy grail for the PS1 that I have not been able to find complete or black label for a very long time. With a value of $200, this is one of the more rare PS1 games. It sold pretty well, but to find a decent copy is just so hard to do in the current day. So I'm super excited to be adding this and all these other great games to the collection. Alright guys, we're going to wrap up this week's video, but before we do, let's talk about the games we played this week, because it's not just about collecting the games here, it's about playing them. So this week we spent some time wrapping up Elden Ring, another great From Software game that knocks it out of the park. And then we took some time with Spec Ops: The Line, a great gripping title that focuses on modern war and the horrors that come with it. So we spent a lot of time with Xbox as of late, so we're going to take some time to look at the PlayStation games. We're going to be playing God of War 1 and 2 this month, getting ready for the God of War title coming out in November, and then we're going to take some time with the PS5. We're going to be finishing up Kena Bridge of Spirits. Might be some time since we just beat Elden Ring before we get to Demon Souls, but that will be one coming up here shortly. Alright, that's going to be it for us, and as always, thank y'all for watching. Have a good one.